Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back once again to your biology online class. Today I will again continue with circulatory system. In the last lecture I had taken up the condition related to the functioning of the heart. Let's quickly revise them. So I told you about the structure of the heart and the various conditions related to the heart, the causes, symptoms and prevention. The first one was palpitation, in which there is feeling of rapid heartbeat, skipping a beat or often harmless, and it may indicate a serious condition of the heart. And the causes are basically stress, anxiety, or excessive exercise or intake of or consumption of more caffeine. Then the symptoms are quick and irregular beating of heart, chest pain, fainting. And the prevention includes to avoid the stress and anxiety, and also you should do exercise regularly, and the intake of too much caffeine should be restricted. Next condition is cardiac arrest, and this condition basically rises when the heart suddenly stops pumping blood in the body, and if it is not treated on time, it usually results in death. And the most common cause for this is the coronary artery disease, or it may even be a congenital heart disease which is since birth. A use of drugs or intense exercise can also be a cause of cardiac arrest. So the symptoms include the loss of consciousness, the breathing stops or it is abnormal, when there is chest pain, there is shortness of breath and even nausea. Again, the preventive measures include you should avoid smoking and maintain a healthy weight by taking a healthy balanced diet. The next condition was heart attack. So it occurs when a blood clot blocks the flow of blood to the heart muscles, and without blood there is no oxygen, and that particular part of the heart, the heart tissue, is damaged forever. It's a permanent damage to the heart muscles. But at the same time, when the heart attack occurs, the heart is still pumping blood and the person is conscious and he is breathing. So there is a difference between the cardiac arrest and heart attack, that this condition the person stops breathing, there is the breathing stops and the person feels unconscious in cardiac arrest, but in heart attack a person is conscious and still breathing. So here also the deposition of fat in the inner walls of the coronary artery is the main reason of heart attack. Now you can see in this picture that this is the condition of the normal coronary artery. These are the two coronary arteries which are supplying blood to the heart, and you can see the narrowing when there is deposition of excessive cholesterol. The lumen or the diameter of the artery decreases, and then it results in the blood flow gets restricted and it flows with high pressure. So there is the symptoms of heart attack include basically tightness of it involves the discomfort, then there is tightness or pain in the chest, then choking feeling in throat, heaviness in arms, and cold sweat, and there is temporary change in vision. The person feels dizzy, the dizziness occurs. Preventive measures include again to maintain an ideal weight by eating a healthy diet, quit smoking for people who smoke, and regular exercise. These are the preventive measures. A person should exercise regularly to avoid these conditions. And the most common condition that is occurring nowadays is hypertension. Now this is the condition in which the blood flows with very high pressure in the arteries. Normal blood pressure, I've told you, is 120 by 80 mmHg, but a person with hypertension, the normal blood pressure for such people is 140 to 90 mmHg, and person is said to be hypertensive. and this condition is known as hypertension. We don't have the exact reason for this, but there are several factors like stress, obesity, or smoking may cause it, or they may occur just because of certain conditions like chronic renal failure or chronic kidney disease, or due to age, or high intake of sodium, basically in the form of the common salt that we are taking in our food every day. So usually there are no symptoms, but if the hypertension or the blood pressure increases suddenly, then a person may have headache, shortness of breath, and even in case of very high blood pressure, a person's nose may start bleeding. They may be bleeding from the nose. So reduce the intake of fats and salt, exercise regularly, eat a healthy diet, and maintain an ideal weight. These are the preventive measures. So there are ways to keep the heart healthy, and this we can do by following the 7 steps to a healthier heart. That is, practice good hygiene. The stress level should be avoided. Is that clear? Stress level should be lowered. You should not take a lot of stress. Maintain healthy cholesterol, blood pressure, sugar. Keep yourself fit. Get to a healthy weight. Play outdoor games. And do regular exercises like walking, cycling, jogging. People who know swimming can even do that also, and keep the body fit and healthy. And do not eat oily and fried foods. Avoid junk food, and too much sugar should also be avoided. Excessive fat and sugar increases weight. And there should be body movement. You should indulge or involve yourself in some type of work, physical work, so that you don't have a rapid weight gain. Then we should include fresh fruits and vegetables in our diet, and reduce the intake of salt. So let's proceed on further. I told you about antibodies and antigens. So I told you that antibodies are what? They are the proteins that are produced in response to a foreign substance that enters the body. That may be any pollutant, or that may be any microorganism. And these proteins react with foreign substances and make them ineffective. So proteins are produced, or the antibodies are the protein that are produced when any microorganism or any pollutant enters a body. So that is considered as foreign for a body and harmful for a body. So these antibodies are produced in response to those foreign substances. Then antigens are the proteins present on the surface of the red blood cell, and they stimulate the production of antibodies in the body. Is it clear? So these antigens are present on the surface of the blood cells, red blood cells, and they stimulate the body to produce the antibodies when any foreign substance like various chemicals, bacteria, viruses, or pollutant enter our body. Is it clear? So he is Karl Landsteiner. In 1900, he identified different blood groups in humans. We know the blood groups A, B, and O, especially those students who have people who are ailing with various problems at home. Must have heard about they're going for testing, and at times blood transfusion is also needed. So they have different blood groups, and the person who is responsible for this is Karl Landsteiner. Is that clear? And blood of all human beings is of 4 types, and the type of blood group depends on the presence or absence of antigens and antibody, which you can see in this figure. In your book also you have the chart that is with the various blood groups. Here you can see the blood groups A, B, AB and O. So the antigens on RBC, I told you these antigens are present on RBCs, so that they stimulate the body to produce the antibodies. So these antigen in blood group A is A only, antigen in blood group B is B, and antigen in blood group AB is both A and B, and in blood group O there are no antigens. Is that clear? Similarly, for antibodies, they are just the opposite, that is antibodies A in blood group, antibody B in blood group A, antibody A in blood group B, and there are no antibodies when a person is of blood group AB type. Is that clear? And similarly, for antibodies in blood group O, he or she has blood group antibodies of both the types A and B. Is that clear? Just because of the presence of these antibodies and antigen, there is compatibility before a person gets transfused. I beg your pardon, this blood group has to be compatible, and it has to be matched with the blood group of the donor. So basically, when a person is ailing with a particular disease and the hemoglobin becomes less, or he has low level of hemoglobin in the blood, or he or she has met with blood loss just because of excessive bleeding in an accident, or even in the case of excessive bleeding during menstruation in girls, this blood transfusion might be required. So what is blood transfusion? So the transfer of blood from one person to another is called blood transfusion. Is that clear? And in this process of transferring blood or blood based products from one person into the circulatory system of another, so a person who receives blood is called the recipient, and the person who gives blood is called the donor. Is that clear? It's basically the spelling is wrong over here. It is DONOR is the right spelling of donor. So the transfer of blood from one person to another person is called blood transfusion, and a healthy person who is giving the blood to the person who is requiring is called the donor, and the person who is receiving the blood is called the recipient. But before this blood transfusion is done, a person's blood group needs to be matched. Is that clear? And blood transfusion is done when the group of the recipient matches with the blood group of the donor. And if person receive blood and that is not matching with the blood group of the recipient, then what might happen? A person may even die. There may be clumping of RBCs. Is that clear? That is transfusion with the wrong blood type. It can cause severe reaction that may be life threatening and even be a cause of death. So it is best to get it transfused after getting your blood tested. So there is a compatible chart for this, and the matching of blood group is done on the basis of this chart. So you can see this blood type compatibility. Here you have the blood group A positive and whereas O negative, and A in the terms of positive and negative, that is the rhesus factor, RH factor positive and negative, which is not given in your book. That is apart from the blood group A, B, O. So on the basis of the presence and absence of that factor, a person is called as positive and negative. The RH factor is present, the person is called positive, and if it is absent, he is called RH negative. On that basis, the blood group is A positive, that is the blood group A along with the RH factor is called as A positive. So he can receive blood from both A and AB blood groups. Beg your pardon, he can give away, he can donate blood to A and AB, and he can receive blood from all these four blood types, that is A positive, A negative, and O positive and negative. Similarly, blood group B can receive blood from B and O only, and he can give blood to B and AB. Blood group AB can give blood to only blood group AB only, and he can receive blood from everyone. Then blood group O can give blood to all the blood types, to everyone, but can receive blood from only O. So these other blood groups are on the basis of the positive and negative factor, Rh positive and negative. So you should have in mind that blood group A can receive blood from A and O only, and can donate blood to A and AB, and rest of the blood groups. B can give blood to B and AB and can receive blood from B and O, while for AB, he can give blood to AB and receive blood from everyone, that is all the 4 blood group, that is A, B, AB and O, while blood group O can give blood to all the blood group types, while can receive blood from O only. That is why blood group O is called as the universal donor, since the person having this type of blood group can donate blood to all the types, while blood group AB is called the universal recipient, because this type of person having this type of blood group can receive blood from all the types of blood groups, that people having any type of blood group, but can donate it to just AB type. So that is why blood group AB is called as a universal recipient, and blood group O is called as the universal donor. And blood donation is a great social work, and there is no substitute for it. Not even the money can substitute it, just because a person is donating her or his blood. So donating blood saves the life of a person. There are no harmful effects of blood donation on the body. Is it clear? So let's move on to the exercise on page number 74. The first question: which of the following condition is not related to the heart? Diabetes, palpitation, cardiac arrest and hypertension. It is diabetes, because it is a disease related to the endocrine system. In which of the following condition does the heart suddenly stop pumping blood? Palpitation, cardiac arrest, heart attack or hypertension? Yes, it is cardiac arrest. What happens in case of a heart attack? Rapid and fluttering heartbeat, heart stops pumping blood, or a blood clot blocks the flow of blood to the heart muscles? Yes, I've just told you, a blood clot blocks the flow of blood to the heart muscles. Reduction in salt intake is advised in case of, yes, hypertension. Then cardiopulmonary resuscitation is advised in case of cardiac arrest. A person who has blood group A, B, AB or O is called a universal recipient. It is blood group AB. Then similarly, a person who has blood group O is called a universal donor. And this compatibility chart, please match the following. Do this on your own. Then you can see here blood vessel, how the blood flows in the blood vessels, and also the lymphatic vessel, which we will discuss later. So you can say the blood flows in the capillaries of tissues, and while flowing, plasma and leukocytes leak out through the walls of the capillaries. Is that clear? This is how they flow, but at the same time you can see how the nutrients and oxygen and other waste and carbon dioxide leak out through the walls of the capillaries, and this fluid is called as the intercellular fluid or tissue fluid or even extracellular fluid. This fluid is colorless and it occupies the space between the cells of the tissues. The cell absorb oxygen and other nutrients from the tissue fluid. The cells which are around it, this intercellular fluid, they absorb whatever content this fluid is having in the form of oxygen and nutrients. And in turn, what are they giving back? They are giving back the waste and the carbon dioxide that is being released from the cells. So we will study this in detail in the next lecture in the lymphatic system. Allah Hafiz.